Hello, and welcome to Project Boliad, where we discover what this fascinating planet has to show. Today, we find ourselves on the continent of Sardes, where there exists a nation with a mysterious myth, named Ivendil. To give you a glimpse of this country, we will be discussing these 4 topics: Ivendil's beginnings, Lusa Amado and her family, the Wishing Watch of Tainga Forest, and Lusa's hope. So, let's begin. Chapter 1. Ivendil's Beginnings. Ivendil is a rather small nation found on the east coast of the continent of Sardes. It is a tropical nation that is warm year-round with a wet and dry season. Nearly 1,200 years ago, during the Age of Discovery, settlers from a distant and large continent to the east named Ivendil landed on the east coast of Sardes. Here on Sardes, these Indolian adventurers fought native populations and rival colonials from other continents and kingdoms for claims to the Sardesian land. This era, known as the Age of Discovery, was a complicated moment in Boliad's history and deserves its own time, but for now, all you need to know is that many modern-day Ivendilians are descendants from the western Indolian nations of Tarnzi, Argandi, and Randil. The Randilian people group are the dominant in Ivendil and are quite distinct. They have pale or tan skin with dirty blonde, brown, or rust-colored hair. The native human populations eventually mixed and mingled with the Indolian settlers, and a period of cultural exchange and diffusion began. The creation of new foods, clothing, and the sharing of myth and religion became a common occurrence, and before too long, the culture of Ivendil became something entirely new. Today, this country is known for its stunning coastal cliffs, beaches, forests, and of course, its food. Chapter 2. Lusa Amado and her family. In the coastal southern town of Tari is a cliffside restaurant and inn named Amado's, where a young girl of Randilian descent named Lusa Amado lives and works. Her father is the owner and founder. His name is Bafin Amado, and at one point was the heir to an oil company. His father, however, allowed this company to be slowly bought out in pieces to larger entities who waited patiently for his passing. Bafin, at the age of 18, inherited a handsome fortune upon his father's death, but the ownership was snatched away from the family. Bafin, who instead of the business fell in love with Ivendilian culture, bought an abandoned property in the south that at one point housed a stunning cliffside inn and eatery built right into the rock overlooking the dazzling Alamus Ocean. Here, Bafin, his wife Amela, and their 8 children lived in the revived inn and eatery. For many years, it was their paradise, where they all worked to provide quality food and shelter to many weary and hungry visitors. However, during this time, Amela developed an unknown illness and became very ill and bedridden. The doctors at her side tried hard but could find no cure. Lusa is the 3rd youngest of their children, and when she was just 11 years old, watched Amela pass away. Lusa can still remember it even now. The seaside window was open. A salty breeze cooled a warm and muggy room, crowded with the family and doctors as the last breath left her mother's lungs. 8 years later, you can still feel this loss when you visit Amado's. The memorial picture of Amela is hung on the ocean-facing wall of the restaurant, but this, however, is not what I mean. This family is a broken one. They have learned to bury their emotions and the needs of Amado's. They serve tables, clean bathrooms, prep sauces, sear fillets, and steam rice. Bafin especially found himself caring more for the restaurant than his own children after his wife's passing. When the family needed him most, he became distant, quiet, and addicted to his work. Some of the eldest children, when they were old enough to leave, did just that. The grief channeled into workaholism may have pushed Bafin's 3 eldest children away, but also brought raving reviews of the restaurant from critics, and with that, droves of people eager to eat at Amado's arrived. Their steamed sea cave hornet bakthu is to die for, people said as they visited the town of Tari in hundreds of thousands every year, and yes, of course, many visitors came for this nationally acclaimed restaurant and inn, but for some, it's really just a pit stop. A large portion of Tari's tourists don't come for the Pakthu. No, they come to embark on a journey, a treacherous one that will take them deep into Ivendil's mysterious Tainga Forest. Chapter 3. The Wishing Watch of Tainga Forest. The town of Tari is famous for being home to the only legal entrance to Tainga Forest. This entrance is called Tari's Gate, and each year thousands of expeditioners pass through its doors. These expeditioners have been awarded what's called a treasure class hunting license, affording them the privilege to wander Tainga Forest in search of a life-changing piece of jewelry. This elusive piece is called the Wishing Watch, and the myth of this timepiece somehow has traveled around the world. and with it has brought thousands of adventurous and desperate souls to the edge of the forest. The myth is thus. Long ago, in the even smaller town of Tari, there was a beautiful and wealthy woman who was largely outcast by the fellow citizens of this growing town. She was a talented watchmaker who was shown the craft by her late father, so talented, in fact, that her neighbors suspected her of being a witch and knowing the way of the daughters. One man in the village was kind to her. He sold her produce in the market and was handsome and gentle. She loved him, and over time, he began to love her as well. Ivendil, however, was allied to a much larger country it shared a border with, and this kind merchant was sent off to war. He left reluctantly, wondering if he would be able to see this beautiful watchmaker ever again. And, in the watchmaker's longing to see him, she had an idea to make him a gift. A watch as lovely as he, and infuse into it some of the magic she had learned over the years. And so she made a stunningly unique pocket watch that, when the hands reached for midday, would allow the wearer to make a wish. She hoped that if she could get it to him, he could wish to see her, and maybe for a moment they could meet each day, even if just for a minute. In their exchange of letters, she learned his company would be stopping near Tari, and she asked if they could meet midday in private in the lower grove of the mysterious Tainga forest. The day came, and they met in the lower grove, where she nervously revealed the gorgeous pocket watch and the secret it held. That at noon, it could grant the holder's greatest desire. To his horror, he realized she was in fact a witch, and that all this time she had been lying to him. In disgust and frustration, he swore they were to never see each other ever again. Her heart shattered as she clutched the watch, and with that it was noon. Before she could even realize what was happening, the watch absorbed her fury and began to grant her wish. At that very moment, and to the merchant's confusion, his skin began to vibrate and ripple faster and faster until his skin snapped and snapped and snapped, deep red slices all over his body. He fell to his knees, gurgling and sputtering in agony, and then all of a sudden his body collapsed into a pile of fleshy pink slurry. In stomach-churning terror, the witch dropped the watch into the underbrush and fled as she howled a horrendous, mournful scream deep into the belly of the Tainga, never to be seen again. The wishing watch is said to be somewhere in the forest, waiting for someone to find it and make a wish. Chapter 4. Lusa's Hope. Of the 4 children who remain with Bafin at Amado's, Bensa, the eldest of them, remembers when his mother was still alive and not ill. Specifically, his favorite memories are of when, on the last day of each week, when the restaurant was closed, Amela and Bafin would take all of the children down to the fishing docks to eat lunch. The children would eat and then jump into the ocean to play with their mother and father in the refreshing ocean water. Lusa sees Bensa go down to the docks every weekend to eat lunch alone. He stares either into the water or off into the horizon. He doesn't talk much. Well, none of the siblings really do much of any talking anymore, at least not like they used to. And Bafin provides little consolation, so the children have taken it upon themselves to make do. Lusa has been preoccupying herself with her interests, particularly the guests. She can't help but notice the expeditioners who come to Amado's. They all eat, stay a few nights, and then pack up and head off for Tari's gate. She knows the myth. She knows if the watch is found, she could make a wish. Her father doesn't entertain it, however. He's far too scared that more of his children could leave, only to end up losing their life to the Tainga forest. But what else is Lusa to do when day and night she thinks of her father smiling again, to have her brother sit on the dock, not alone looking off into the water or horizon, but instead deep into his mother's eyes, and of course for herself to feel the raking of Amela's fingers through her hair once more. Lusa's hope rests in the wishing watch. At the table here is Expedition Crew number 4765-35. They call themselves Jungle Blade and have become recent regulars at Amado's, and of course Lusa has taken a liking to them. In just a few months' time, she will likely, in the middle of the night, slip away, leaving Amado's behind to join Expedition Crew Jungle Blade. Lusa believes the only way to save her family and fix all of her problems is to bring her mother back. Lusa, when you do run away, I wish you luck. I honestly do hope you discover what it is you need in the depths of the Tainga. And with that, our brief visit of Ivendil has come to an end. Thank you for stopping by, and hopefully you'll visit Boleat again in the next video. Goodbye for now.